What is going on, guys? Money Webby here, back again on Friday. We got a nice 10-game slate here tonight. I got 6 of my favorite plays on the slate. My money 6. So before we get going, be sure to slap that like button. Let's see if we can get over 100 likes in this video. Another night last night. Pretty damn disappointing. That 3-game slate really came back to haunt us, as the Utah Jazz Rockets game was supposed to be the closest game on the slate. But actually, the Celtics-Knicks game was, and the Jazz just absolutely blew out the Rockets in the third quarter. The Rockets put up like 10 points or something like that. So that was really disappointing for Chris Paul, who didn't get as much run. And also Donovan Mitchell wasn't really doing much for whatever reason in the first 3 quarters. So that was kind of, those two guys really screwed us over. The rest of the plays weren't too bad. Moutier wasn't too bad. Josh Jackson wasn't too bad. Nurkic was like 1 point off from a double-double, and almost just like 3 quarters. So the rest of the plays wasn't too bad, but that Jazz Rockets game really just screwed us, so that was disappointing. But 10-game slate here, easier to avoid like 3 possible blowouts like what happened last night. So it should be a good one. So let's just get into it, though. I'm going to go with Giannis. This game is the highest implied total of the slate, and Giannis has been playing amazing this year, especially in these higher scoring affairs. I think he can definitely fill it up. He was actually going off against the Warriors on the first matchup against them, but he got in foul trouble. So he only played 26 minutes, but in those 26 minutes, he put up 48 DraftKings points, 24 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists. So he was really going off in those limited minutes. So if he can stay out of foul trouble here, get some more minutes, like he's been playing around like 40 minutes in some of these closer games. So if this game stays close throughout, and if it's as high scoring as people are expecting, then Giannis could honestly go for 60 to 70 DraftKings points in this game, especially without a guy like Draymond Green down low for the Warriors. So Giannis, a guy that lives around the rim, could easily get a big double-double in this game and also get some assists, just because he'll be able to drive to the hoop so easily that he could also kick it to guys on the three-point line like Middleton, even kick it to like Brogdon and stuff like that. So 11,100, like him a lot. I'm going to go ahead and lock him in. And then I'm going to go with Andre Drummond. I wasn't considering him at first, but with the news of Embiid being out tonight, then that's a huge boost for a guy like Drummond, because Philadelphia's backup centers aren't very good at all. Like, I would imagine they're going to be going with like Amir Johnson or Mike Muscala as their centers. So those guys cannot compete with a guy like Andre Drummond on the glass. And he has been struggling the last 2 games. But one of those matchups are really tough. The Thunder play really good defense on center, so that was kind of expected. But I think he can take advantage of this matchup a lot, especially at a price tag at 8,600. He could honestly go for over 50 DraftKings points with a soft matchup without Embiid. And now there's also already been a lot of banter between him and Embiid, so maybe this is kind of a game where he can be like, we're just going to dominate you this game, because Embiid's been chirping him the whole entire year. So he can take advantage of Embiid not being out and have a huge game. And at 8,600, it's a really good price tag for a guy that has 50-plus upside. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in. And I'm going to go with Butler on the other side of the ball. With Embiid being out, like I said, that's a huge availability of usage for the rest of the offense. And I think Butler is the guy that would step into that offensive like usage the most, because he's the best offensive game really to kind of take advantage of what Embiid does. Like Simmons, his offensive game is a little bit limited, where he's only really able to do like those drives and like those kind of floaters and like short, like mid-range kind of shots. But Butler is a guy that can score from anywhere. He has a nice 3-point shot. He has the mid-range. He can drive. So I think he'll kind of take over that huge usage role in the 76ers offense. And it's a solid matchup going against Detroit. Their defense isn't great, especially on like shooting guard, small forward types. So at 7,400, I think Butler is going to be pretty chalky here tonight, I would imagine, with that Embiid injury. But I think he can go for over 40 to even maybe 50 DraftKings points if this game does turn into a bit of a shootout between the Pistons and the 76ers. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my third guy. Then I'm going to go with Brogdon here. This game is going to be so high scoring, I believe. And Brogdon, another guy that played really well against the Warriors in the first game. In just 24 minutes, he dropped 30 DraftKings points, 20 points in the field, and he looked really good. I remember watching this game between the Bucks and the Warriors, and Brogdon almost looked unstoppable for the Bucks in this game, probably because they were giving so much attention when I was watching to Giannis in that quarter. So like Brogdon's going to give some easier looks on the 3-point line and stuff like that, especially if Giannis is getting it going down to the lane. So, and he's been playing really well recently. His minutes have been trending up in a few of these games. Like he's gotten 37 minutes, 37 in 2 of these last like closer games, and also 35 in this closer game against the Spurs. So if he can get around 35 plus minutes again in this game, I think he can give us over 30 DraftKings points just because of how high scoring it's going to be, and some good shot attempts probably for Brogdon, because there's probably going to be more attention on guys like Bledsoe, even Middleton, and Giannis. So I think Brogdon could be the forgotten man and have some easy looks and have a really good night at 5,800. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in. And then we're going to go with Bam ADEBAYO here with Whiteside out, just way too easy of a play. Just to insert in Bam here, who's had some huge games when he's gotten over like 20 minutes and stuff like that. Normally, when he's been given opportunities, he's really filled into that Whiteside role really well. Like against Toronto, he dropped a 16 and 21, and against the Bulls, he had a 14 and 13. And this is a really good matchup against the Suns. Their defense on centers is not great. They allow a lot of rebounds. So a guy like Bam ADEBAYO, this game can stay a little bit closer. I think he honestly could get a double-double, but even if it doesn't stay close, at 4,200, he could easily get like 15 points and like 8 rebounds and 3 quarters, so it's still worth your trouble at a price tag that low, because they didn't factor in Whiteside being out. So I'm gonna go ahead and lock him in there. It's my fifth guy. Then for my final value guy, Josh Hart here at 3,600. Another guy that is taking advantage of an injury with Brandon Ingram out. I would imagine Josh Hart will slide into that starting role, and he didn't get as many minutes without Ingram, because he got in a ton of foul trouble somehow really fast. In 13 minutes, he had 5 fouls, but he actually hit, I think, like 1 or 2 big threes at the end of the game when they were close against the Spurs team. So he definitely has the ability to do so in this matchup. He's actually played pretty well against the Spurs, like factoring in that bad performance with the foul trouble. He already had like averaging over like 25 DraftKings points against this same team, because if you factor that in, the 7 DraftKings points definitely brought this average down. So in 2 games before that, he was able to hit, what is that? He was able to hit 11 shots. So he definitely has the ability to score in this matchup. The Spurs have struggled the most based on their DVP against guards, like the point guards and the shooting guards. So Josh Hart will probably have an easier time in this game. And they're definitely going to be trying to stop LeBron James, like he went absolutely off against them last game. So they'll probably try to make guys like Josh Hart, Lonzo beat him in this game. So 3,600, really good value for a guy that I think is an underrated player. He's normally pretty damn good when he's been given the opportunities, and at 3,600, the price tag is way too good. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my final guy. So not much money left over. 46.50, but there's still that value that has been opening up with the injuries. Like maybe if you want to take a chance on Muscala or something like that at 3,800, or even Amir Johnson. I guess we'll find out about who's going to be starting, because the game is at 7. So that would be an interesting kind of value in that sense. So those are the 6 plays. There you got Brogdon, Butler, Giannis, ADEBAYO, Drummond, and Josh Hart. So I hope you enjoyed it. Drop a like if you did. 100 plus likes, greatly appreciated. Means a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already to continue to get these NBA DraftKings picks. Hopefully we have some better luck here tonight on this 10-game slate. Feeling really good about the plays. Maybe some guys are going to be probably chalky, but their price tag and their situation is way too good to avoid them, like Drummond against Muscala and Amir Johnson. Like, give me that every single day of the week. So good luck here tonight, and we'll see you back here again next time.